What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling.
Stop! Stop! Ah!
You will serve him until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atten, you will be broken.
Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough time with you. Sleep, murderer, and be silent. A critical moment approaches.
But you have not answered my question. Why are you here?
It was not my intention to come here, Idris. We'll see you again.
Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. You and all the Jedi who followed Revan caused the Jedi Civil War. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled. There was much about that day that was difficult to forget, when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I had kept it, so I would never forget.
Give that blade back, or I'll tear it from your dead hands.
You were not far removed from the monster who left the Order so long ago.
Paragus' destruction was necessary.
Paragus? What would they want there? They can't have been looking for you.
The Sith believe me to be the last Jedi.
You? If they thought you were Jedi, the teachings of the Sith blind them indeed. I am the last Jedi, not you. You betrayed our teachings, our beliefs, the very core of the Jedi Order. I need nothing from you, except your departure from this place. I was wrong to even permit you to remain this long. Take your ship, then. I don't care where you go, just leave this place. Leave Telos.
We shall remove him, mistress. Come with us.
Something off about her.
There was something from your past here, something unresolved. I feel we did not come to this place by chance. You were led here. This woman who resides here, she did something to you once, something that hangs upon you still.
She was one of the council who cast me out of the Order, and wanted to punish me even further.
I see it now. The act has left its marks. Be warned, unresolved events from our past can create wounds in the present and the future. And more importantly, they can distract you, weaken you. It could prove fatal against the enemies we face.
She is a Jedi, Idris. One of the council.
There is a Jedi here, perhaps, in that you are correct. Yet there are no students, and this woman, this Atris, surrounds herself with those who cannot feel the Force. Curious.
Atris allegedly plans to heal the galaxy, then rebuild the Order.
Plans are fragile things, and life often dashes expectations to the ground. Perhaps students will come to her in time. For now, she is surrounded by those who cannot feel the Force.
Very odd. Aren't handmaidens her students?
No, her servants are not Jedi. Their minds are walls, trained to resist tricks of the mind. This discipline blinds them to the Force as well, even if they were Force-sensitive.
How do you know that? Were you reading their minds?
Invade the mind of another. It is not something done carelessly, or when there is nothing to be gained.
She means me harm. I may have to kill her.
Killing such a one could prove difficult and unwise. Yet she distracts you, that is clear, and that may be reason enough. Such distractions could prove fatal against the enemies we face.
Yes, you said. You're cunning. How would you end such a distraction?
Direct action is not always the best way. It is a far greater victory to make another see through your eyes than to close theirs forever. Yet all that lives feels, and where something feels, there is weakness.
And what is her weakness?
Why, you, of course. You are the gravity around which all her actions rotate. You exert a stronger influence than you know. Be her foil, her challenge, and eventually she will see things your way.
I did not realize it affected her so deeply.
Oh, yes. Natural leaders do such things to followers, whether they be simple criminals or old women such as myself.
I will consider this, thank you, Kreia. For now, let us go.
Very well. Let us depart.
Is that okay? He looks out cold.
He's only sleeping. It seems the journey here has fatigued him.
Well, he can sleep on the ship. Let's go. There's something rather odd.
curious thing. What lies behind it?
When I first met Atris, she emerged from this chamber.
Did she? Perhaps it is a meditation chamber of some sort.
I do not know. Seems suspicious.
I hear you.
What do you see, Kreia? Huh. Curious.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about.
Atris is the one you should be worried about.
She said you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
I went to war to protect others, not to fight.
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
Indeed. And why was that?
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
That does not explain why I stopped fighting after the Mandalorian Wars.
Atris says when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with them because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
That is untrue. I'm uncertain what tore the Force away from me. Still, Atris is entitled to her opinion.
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
Expressed feelings?
Yes. It is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come at all.
Wise interpretation. And what do you think Atris's heart says?
Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
So, you mean if I crushed Atris's skull into the floor, that might get to the heart of the matter?
I do not think the battle would go as you describe. But in essence, yes. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
Wise words. I should be going now, though.
Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it.
Of course.
You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
It is a difficult thing to describe.
Please, I wish to know.
It is like a current that passes through you and carries you with it to all the places it touches. Imagine awakening and hearing the heartbeat of the galaxy for the first time. The warmth of the sun, without the glare, and you can feel its light and its heat, but there's no harshness to it.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm, the passions of all living things turned into energy, into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood, the call of new mysteries in the dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
If you have further questions in the future, seek me out and ask them.
Why have you approached me?
Do all these women look alike? Not like I'm complaining, I mean, it's interesting.
They are Ichani. It is not unusual for their children to share similar features from the same parents.
If you have a reason for approaching me, speak it.
I had some questions for you.
You may ask.
I had some questions about Atris.
The mistress? What of her?
What can you tell me about her?
She leads us. As she rebuilds Telos, she rebuilds the Order, and through them, the galaxy.
And how does she plan to do that?
We serve the Jedi. We do not question them. Yet, Atris has told us that the work here at Telos may pay for similar efforts in many worlds along the Rim that were destroyed when the Jedi turned on each other. She has said the Jedi Order needs such a foundation if it is to rebuild. She faults the teaching of many of the Jedi Masters as the spark of the Jedi Civil War.
Indeed. A most curious reason for a war.
Atris has said that if Revan and Malak had been properly instructed in the ways of the Jedi, they never would have fallen, and nor would you, Exile.
Indeed. And exactly what does Atris consider proper training?
That is unknown to me.
Of course.
I have never observed Atris to teach Jedi, nor would I wish to.
Yes, to teach one needs students. I've seen few of those since our arrival.
Atris has chosen instead to focus her efforts on galactic recovery. Once the galaxy breathes again, disciples will come.
Atris knows nothing, and she will transmit her ignorance to anyone who follows her.
She predicted you would say as much. She seems to know you quite well. Perhaps you are the one who knows nothing.
Perhaps I should teach you a lesson then.
I would welcome a chance to instruct you. I have been anxious to teach you many principles of combat ever since you invaded this place.
Oh? I could use a good sparring match.
Very well. Follow me, and we shall see if you have the endurance to learn the most basic of our teachings. You are a strong opponent. Atris was correct about you. You know much of war and battle. Perhaps too much.
So you admit defeat?
I admit nothing. The Ichani stand together. To defeat one or two of us says nothing of how a true battle would go.
Ah, care to back up those words?
Then our last battle shall be the 5 of us against you. Use any item, any weapon, any technique you wish. You'll need them.
Why not all 6 of you?
There is no need for the last of us to join in this fight. The weakest among us will only serve to diminish our techniques. We fight as one when we are 5, not 6. And that number should be enough for this lesson.
You're done talking, or are we going to fight?
Very well. We shall begin.
Do I detect anger?
This will teach you.
Drain life.
There shall be no more matches, no more challenges. There is much we have learned from you. If we meet on the field of battle, we shall be prepared.
Padawan robe. I did not realize I had this robe. Oh, suits me.
Well, if it isn't the one who stole the Ebonhawk. Not so smug now, are you little thief?
Don't be a fool. Atris stole the ship and the droid.
Says you.
Behavior core. They didn't memory wipe you, did they? It wasn't your fault they took the ship, D3. Wait, what information are you talking about? Why would she want what's in your memory core? Ah, you can fill me in later. Let's get out of here first. We'll see you at the Ebonhawk.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left? But why? Her oath.
Her reasons are unknown to me, but I fear she may no longer be trusted. We will save her if we can, but we must let her discover the exile's nature for herself. Some evils must be confronted, and isolation from it would have been no defense.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
The droid sure is making a lot of noise. What are you talking about? You downloaded Atris' archives?
What is the machine saying?
He said there was a holo recording of my trial in Atris's records.
We seem to have found it.
23 seem to have found it.
Do you know why we have called you here?
You have called me here to answer for my crimes on Malachor 5.
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
The truth is, the Mandalorians had to be stopped. Or countless more would have died.
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out. And so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
Not there, Malachor. You did not see them die.
Much defiance in that one.
You are correct, Kavar. When he was here, I felt it. It was as if he was not there, more like an echo.
The war has touched the youngest of the Order. Many of them have lost themselves in battle against the Mandalorians.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. He has lost himself. He is no Jedi. He walked Revan's path, but he was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. He has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let him depart. He will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with him, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let him go because we must. Where he travels, he carries his destination with him.
Malachor 5 should have been his grave. You saw it in his walk, and in the Force. It was as if he was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told him the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believed was true. There is still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed. Until then, he must accept his journey.
But he may never discover the truth, and he will never know why we cast him out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
Those were the last few moments after my trial. I had no idea. If you find anything else, let me know. Atris has a list of the missing Jedi. Sure. Let's see them. Vrook, Dantooine, Zeskayal. Better than Vrook. Kavar, Onderon, Ash, Korriban, Atris. I know all those Jedi Masters.
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
We have no choice. Those Jedi know what happened to me. We must seek them out.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Well, we don't want your help. Or any of your sisters.
It is just me, and I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help.
Do you think we need help?
I think the strength of the enemy is unknown, but it is greater than 5 can hope to defeat without aid.
And 6 is better. I will take whatever help I can get, I suppose.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey?
Freya, this is not the time.
I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General?
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself.
Look, forget Hatton. Take it to regular quarters. We have enough room.
It is no matter. I am used to worse conditions, but thank you for your kindness.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore?
Atris and the Jedi Council took it from me.
That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that.
Interesting perception. I'm not afraid of building a new lightsaber, if that's what you think.
I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete.
Thought the Jedi Enclave is destroyed. I do not know where to get the parts.
I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need.
Great. Wait a minute, since when did you become an expert on lightsabers?
I spent a lot of time around Jedi during the war. None of them would let me take their lightsaber apart, but I did learn about their construction. We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal. Though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common, though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own. Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable.
Very well.
For the last time, no. Because you're programmed to force your opponent to go first, and nothing will convince me the computer doesn't cheat. Even if I didn't have to go first and somehow I didn't suspect you of counting cards, I still wouldn't play with a trash compactor. Yeah? How many credits?
All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior.
Utility droids tend to have habits towards developing personality quirks. Quite honestly, I do not mind it.
I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality.
Don't worry, Bayoda probably knows what he's doing. Oh, stop that.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.